Is Mikel Arteta's tactical approach or lack of faith at Arsenal contributing to their ongoing injury crisis? We're diving into the data and examining the potential connections between training methods, playing style, and a lack of rotation causing a constant stream of setbacks for the Gunners. Arsenal's window to win is hanging by a thread, and it's not just down to the competition. The aim of this video is to point out the alarming trend of injuries plaguing the squad, and investigate if Arteta's tactics and lack of faith in his squad are partly to blame. First, let's look at the injuries suffered in the 24-25 season and how many players were affected. Jurriën Timber, through the 24-25 season, had picked up 3 injuries that have impacted his availability. The injury issues: 3 thigh injuries, timeout 39 days, games missed 6. Timber was known to struggle towards the end of the season with an ankle issue, which he has undergone surgery on. However, this was done after the season finished, making many Arsenal fans question why he was still playing. The lack of rotation catching up with him, especially after coming back from an ACL injury the previous season. Takehiro Tomiyasu only managed 6 minutes of action last season against Southampton, with knee troubles keeping him on the sidelines for a long while. Injury issues: knee. Timeout: whole season. Games missed: whole season. While Tomiyasu is rated by the club and the fans also feel that his availability is what matters, and we've seen very little of that. Ben White: persistent knee issues have been the main concern last season, with the star undergoing surgery to deal with those problems. Okay, so the injury issues: knee. Timeout 136 days. Games missed 30. Ben White has been brought back into the team this season at times when his fitness was still in question. Some weeks he's available and missing the next. Fans have worried Arsenal took too long to concede he needed surgery, and he hasn't looked like the player from previous years. Then we got William Saliba. So far this season, William has missed a couple of games with some hamstring troubles that he picked up in January. So not really bad from him. Injury issue: hamstring. Timeout 1 week. Games missed 2. Then we got Gabriel Magalhaes. The centre-back Magalhaes suffered from 2 knee injuries at the back end of 2024, which kept him out for a few matches, then went on to suffer a grade 3 hamstring injury in April, which sidelined him for the remainder of the season. Injury issues: knee and hamstring. Timeout 3 weeks in total for the knee injuries, and then he was out from April until present after undergoing surgery. He missed 5 games due to his knee injuries and was a big miss at both ends of the pitch, being vital in set pieces. Ricardo Calafiori, Arsenal's summer signing, has been plagued with injuries last season ever since he arrived and made the switch from Bologna. Brought in as someone to challenge for the left back position, he hasn't convinced all Arsenal fans by his defending and his lack of availability. Injury issues: knee, calf, muscle. Timeout 159 days. Games missed 27. Zinchenko has struggled with many different injuries over his Arsenal career so far, with a couple of fresh issues coming up last campaign. Injury issue: calf, muscle. Timeout 56 days. Games missed 13. Kieran Tierney. In the summer before the season started, he picked up a serious hamstring injury and missed the entire start of the campaign for Arsenal, hardly used once back from his injury. Injury issue: hamstring. Timeout 160 days. Games missed 18. Miles Lewis-Skelly had a minor knock he picked up early in the campaign. Injury issue: just a knock. Timeout 17 days. Games missed 4. Thomas Partey struggled with injuries throughout his career. Through this season, he missed just 1 match, pivotal to Arteta in midfield and even used as a makeshift right back. Partey delivered a great season, however was definitely flagging by the end. Injury issues: muscular. Timeout 1 week. Games missed 1. Declan Rice broke his toe in November, which saw him play through some pain, but still missed 3 matches in the process, being used in the 8 and expected to do lots of running, was for me in the red zone but was continually used. Injury issue, broken toe. Timeout, 3 weeks. Games missed, 3. Mikel Marino. The start of Marino's career at Arsenal was tough after a broken shoulder picked up in training, while a few knocks have also followed. Brought in to bolster midfield, he was eventually used in a false 9 role due to the injury to Kai Havertz. Injury issue, shoulder, knee, knock, and an unknown issue. Timeout, 51 days. Games missed, 11. Martin Odegaard. This season saw the captain out of action for 2 months with an ankle ligament issue. He was also out ill. The captain's performances this season was not up to par, and he was continually played while never looking himself. Fans questioned if he too needed surgery. Injury issue, ankle, ill. Timeout, 62 days. Games missed, 15. Ethan Nwaneri picked up a hamstring injury that meant he missed around 2 weeks of action. Fans believe he should have been given more time and should have been used more by the manager, who seemed not to want to use him towards the end of the season. Injury issues, hamstring, timeout, 18 days, games missed, 5. Gabriel Martinelli. He has been available for most of the season for Arsenal, but one recent hamstring concern kept him out for some time. Gabriel has been used a lot last year due to his tracking back, however, his attacking has been found wanting. Injury issues, hamstring, timeout, 18 days, games missed, 5. Bukayo Saka had a few small absences over the season, but the latest hamstring kept him out for 3 months. Constantly limping and looking tired, fans worried Saka was in the red zone. Constant overuse would suggest that they were right. Injury issues, hamstring, muscular, thigh. Timeout, 122 days, games missed, 23. Raheem Sterling suffered 1 injury last season, missing 5 matches. Failed to impress or stake a claim to play often. The injury issues for him was knees. Timeout, 19 days, and as I said, games missed, 5. Kai Havertz picked up an early injury in the season, then fell ill. He managed to stay fit until February, when suffering a hamstring injury that would basically rule him out for the remainder of the season, barring a couple towards the end. Injury issue, hamstring, knee, ill. Timeout, 119 days. Games missed, 23. At a time when Arsenal was down to 1 striker, Arteta does high intensity training with him. Make it make sense. Then we got Gabriel Jesus, picked up a groin injury early, then fell to a cruciate ligament injury, sidelining him for the remainder of the season. Maybe just unfortunate, but again another player who cannot stay fit. Injury issues, groin, ligaments, timeout, 330 days, games missed, 41. As pointed out before, some may say these injuries are unfortunate. Bad luck catching up after 2 seasons of relative ease in the injury department, while others believe lack of depth, quality and ultimately a lack in faith in the squad as a whole has worked against the team. A team that has just not had enough in the tank to get over the line in the league, cups or in Europe. Key players in key areas have been missing this year at important times and in key games. While yes, Arsenal have managed to scrape across the line in 2nd place in the league, semi-finals of the Carabao Cup and the UCL respectively, the required level and energy wanted by the manager was just not attainable this year, with the team regressing. Less points, less goals and less wins, with 14 draws in total. While injuries and fatigue are a part and parcel in the game, some fans have questioned why the team has so badly been ravaged this season. Is it high intensity training sessions? We don't actually know what they consist of, so it's hard to comment. You would think logically players in the red zone would have different training routines and get rotated from light training to intense. Not knowing how this is done only leaves us with assumptions. Is it the way that Mikel wants to play? Defending from the front, wingers tracking back, a high line that isn't mentioned enough, causing players to sprint back, under all types of pressure, then being required to transition and sprint towards the opposite goal. This is very demanding, but not impossible, which segues nicely into squad depth. Arsenal registered 26 players last season, one player over the maximum 25 allotted spaces. However, 12 of those players were academy players. That leaves 14 so-called first-team players to fight over 4 competitions. Surely a manager fighting on 4 fronts while wanting a high press and high energy has to have a big squad to choose from. The club let 12 players go and only brought in 4 as Arteta wanted a smaller team by design. Counterproductive unless you're using all the registered players. Why register 26 players and not use them? If they're not good enough, they shouldn't be at the club. 12 of them are from the academy, so I understand the drop in level in terms of first team quality, but surely that has to be on the manager and the club. Why has the manager only got cover and not competition? Why have the club allowed the manager to go into the season understaffed and underprepared? Many times this season we've needed a change in the game, but I have a bench full of defenders and kids. We've needed more impression moments and there was no options. There have been players on the bench like Ethan when we needed a goal and just weren't used. The fact he keeps playing the same players over and over is a big indicator he has no faith in the whole squad. You can't say that what we see week in, week out from Arsenal is entertaining. Every now and then there's a fluid performance, but the norm is to be methodical, slow and defensive more than anything. Long gone are the days of attacking football, and that is on the manager. Tell me a time when Mikel really threw the sink at a game. His approach is always defensive. Many times it's clear he doesn't want to lose more than he wants to win. The team looked to get set pieces, becoming a major way that Arsenal now play the game. It very much feels like the system dulls the players and creativity, players being micromanaged the whole game. Individualism is coached out of the team. Some people have said the schedule. Is it the schedule? Playing games every 3 days? Players going away for international duty? These are the things the club would be well aware of and should have prepared accordingly. Results of all this. The first team that's been dragged through the mud, the squad not used enough unless backed into a corner, players dropping like flies due to overuse and no rotation, no options when games need a change or we need a goal, players becoming disillusioned and unmotivated. That's a fact. We become one-dimensional with no plan B, we're predictable to play against, and not crossing the line and winning trophies is ultimately the result of going down this route. So now, obviously after all of this, you have to ask yourself a couple of hard questions. Yeah, ultimately, you have to question the competence of the manager and the people at this club. Mikel has to be competent enough to minute manage, rotate, and know when the players are in the red zone. Mikel would have known about all of the fixtures and the internationals, so there's no excuses not to be prepared. Another question you must ask is, does the manager and the club care enough about its staff? Many times the players have been playing through injury and pain and still being made to play, and of course we had a whole year of no reinforcements after the summer. We had a dry January and the players never got no help. Okay, moving forward, load management must be addressed. We need competition, not cover. That is the key phrase here. Competition, not cover. Not just to keep the players sharp, but also to keep them rested and at a lower risk of injury and fatigue. Have faith in the players you've assembled and have a plan B and C. Don't risk the players' fitness or health. I think that should go without saying. The club needs to make sure that the manager has all the tools that he needs. Even if he requests a smaller squad, you need to be able to look beyond him and say you're fighting on 4 competitions. There needs to be competence from all areas of the club. There must be a universal message at the club. Win. Better standards. Trying your best. It has to be all the way from the top, all the way down to the bottom. Everyone at the club must be on the same page. And there you have it, people. Let me know what else you think could have led to the injury crisis at the club. Let me know if you think I'm totally off the mark with this one. if this is an Arteta issue or do I have an agenda? You let me know in the comments below. Thank you ever so much if you made it to the end of this video. Catch me in the next one. We'll be discussing patience and when patience turns into blind faith, along with some other stuff. Views on sport. Have a great day, people.